On today's video, we're going to figure out just what the hell happened to this thing in the last video. Alright, so in the last video, as you remember, we adjusted the valves and put the exhaust on, and at the end of the night when I went to start it, there was some noise. And it didn't quite run right. Cylinders 2 and 4 are down, which obviously creates a bad misfire, and running rich, and all this other stuff. So I have a theory. I'm really thinking that it's the head gasket between the two cylinders may have just popped. Weird coincidence. I don't know. But let's go through and try to figure out what happens. So I figured I'd spare you all that talk and just cut to the chase. A handful, you know where this is going to go. I adjusted these valves, assuming this engine was equipped with hydraulic lifters. They're not. They're solid. So I noticed that fairly quick after I took the valve cover off and messed with the adjustment, and realized fairly quick that, oh, the valve's being held open. In addition to that, I have one bent push rod. Not much, but it's bent. But good news there, went to the neighbor and said, hey, you got any 7 3/4 push rods for a small block Chevy? He said, yeah. So I got one good one. So now the plan is, well, before I go that far, then I really got to thinking about it, and I thought, hey, 9 years ago, I remember running into this issue of trying to adjust them like a hydraulic lifter, only to find out the valves are staying open. Yeah, time does make the brain go duller. Anyway, then I also thought, oh, that's right, I wrote this down somewhere. According to my notes, back then we determined that the valve clearance was 20 and 18 thousandths. So I guess we'll go with that. So the next current strategy is throw the good push rod in, set the clearance, do a compression test, and see how many valves are bent. Go ahead and slip in back in there. Alright, I got them all set up, ready to adjust. I'm just going to verify that at least ways the whole thing has solid lifters. Well, there, now if I only would have done that in the first place, that would have saved me a lot of time and headache. Possibly a top end. I know you could probably adjust, one valve on this cylinder. You can go do one on this and one on the other. We're going to do it one at a time this time. Just to be safe. Alright, we're going to go with 20 on the exhaust, like I said. And then 18 on the intake. Repeat that process, obviously, one by one, and we'll come back and we're ready to do the compression test. I feel pretty dumb about this whole thing. But we're only human, mistakes do happen. And I got to thinking I could have easily edited this out and said, hey, it's got a big lopey cam and sucks a lot of fuel and everything's fine, but I'll be honest, I do stupid things. Alright, they're all adjusted up. I spun it over quick and verified that all the push rods are indeed spinning. It tells me that there at least wasn't a wiped out lifter or anything, because, well, you know the story. The lifter spins in the bore to keep the wear even on it. And I did in fact check that when each valve is open, the lifter is at a 90 degree, which is what you want. So, hoping that all goes well with the compression test. Alright, here we go. Cylinder 1. That's a good sign. Fantastic. Here we go for number 5. Decent. Apparently the Avalanche sneezed a little hard. Appears to be broken. Alright, well, we're halfway. So far, so good. 2 and 4 are the ones I'm worried about the most. Alright, number 2. Hope for the best. Yes! It's alive! That's a relief. Number 4. Sweet. 2 more. Awesome. I'll drink to that. You know, in all reality, even if it was damaged, if there were bent valves, not the end of the world. These are so easy to work on, as all of you really know. And like I said before, a cam, intake, upgraded heads, headers, all that stuff is in this thing's future. But it sure is nice to not have to dig into the budget any further when, you know, 60% of the car is, well, I don't know. I'll go 50%. 45% of the car is still in pieces. Alright, now here we go. Firing for the first time, hopefully on all 8 cylinders, with the new exhaust. You know, I got to thinking, in the last video, it had a pretty cool sound being all choppy. Maybe that big thumping cam and hydraulic lifters will be sooner than we think. Let's see how she sounds. Alright, well there we have it. She's healthy. There is some rocker noise, which I suppose that is to be expected with solid lifters. I don't know. It probably made that sound before, it was just hard to tell because of all the incredible noise that was coming from the back. Oh well. Maybe I'll do some more research on that, maybe I can set them a little tighter. Either way, I think she'll be fine. As always, thanks for watching. See you later.